All right, man. Shout out to Town. He just sent me this. It ain't no guaranteed I'm gonna be able to get to the desk tonight or in the morning. Shit. But I'm gonna talk about this from, if I get something wrong, I read it, so I shouldn't get too much wrong. Might be some interpretation issues, but basically, Zuffa and TKO Boxing, which is the overseas Saudis, TKO Boxing and Zuffa is Dana White's company that's been trying to get off the ground for a minute. They're nearing a deal with Paramount, reportedly, right? They don't sound like they have a deal yet, but they're nearing a deal with Paramount streaming. So, with this particular deal may close, basically, this is it, bro. From what I'm reading, whoever Shapiro is over there, basically what Dana White is doing, he has no financial obligations. They are basically a property manager. Okay? For them, this is all risk, all reward, not much risk, right? Only risk is probably the relationship that they have with the Saudis, right? That's really all the risk is, right? If they piss the Saudis off and whatever, right? It's just, that. So basically what they saying from what I read in the article, this Shapiro guy saying that they basically is just a property manager for the Saudis TKO Boxing. Now you be like, what a property manager is? Okay, let me break this down. You got people that manage people properties that around America, whether it's residential, commercial, you know. So let's say you have a house you rent out, and most people like not to pay a property company, and they don't take much. They take a percentage or whatever the fee is, and they manage that property. They receive the funds for that property, that house that you're renting out, or houses or apartment complex. They manage the property as far as cleaning, cutting, whatever the obligations they have, and they manage that property. If something break, they find somebody to go fix it, right? So it's basically you still pretty much paying the money to fix it, but they're middleman in it. They're middleman in it. They're middlemen in it. So you basically they may never know who owned this house, never met you because your management company handled it. For the most part, that's what they're doing with Zuffa Boxing. So Zuffa is just managing TKO. They're doing the day-to-day operations, and they're saying that they are promising super fights. That's what he read from I read an article. Shapiro, whoever he is, said that they're trying to do super fights, and they're going to basically have the Zuffa boxers fill out the undercard. So there you have it. So when they came with that pay scale for Zuffa boxing, and they say each super fight is going to be around $10 million a main event. That's what I'm figuring out. Like around 10 million, is probably going to be, the fight purses that they going to put out or whatever the main event going to be worth. And Zuffa is just going to use their fighters that they sign with the Saudi money. All this is the Saudis' money and TKO boxing money to fill out the undercard. So when you sign the Zuffa boxing, you're going to be on these undercards, but it's kind of like a minor league, major league situation. I'm assuming this part that if you on the undercard and you become somewhat of a star, now you start being part of those multi seven-figure paydays up there as well. So that's the hope. Okay, I might make some peanuts with Zuffa boxing, or I might make some solid paydays, but if I keep grinding and I become a name on this undercard and make it to the main event, I'm going to start making 10, 15, $20 million too. So that's the catch-22 that's going to get people to sign with Zuffa boxing, is that they can get from the minor leagues with Zuffa boxing to the major league with TKO boxing. So basically, they're handling TKO's day-to-day operations. They're putting these fights together, making these major fights. But while they're signing people with the Saudis' money, all this is Saudis' money, they signing individual boxers just to fill out the undercard. No financial risk to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. All they doing is taking somebody else's money as a property manager, managing operations. They taking the money, making the main event, doing the main event, and using their fighters that they sign to fill out the undercard. So I'm pretty sure they're selling to those fighters, hey, you sign with us, eventually if you keep winning, you're going to make them paydays up there with the big fellas. You're going to get shot at the big fellas. So They, you know, they got rid of Al Heyman off of Paramount. And like I said, I don't think Al Heyman pretty much cared. I don't think he cared about, you know, carrying on with CBS Showtime. I think he's surprised it went on for so long. In my opinion, allegedly, I think what he was doing, like I said, allegedly, he was just finessing money, people money. He just wanted to take Waddle and Reed, allegedly take their money, take Showtime money, take as much money away, money from the fighters as he could, and get out of Dodge. I mean, Dana White said it years ago. It was like a bank. Every PBC card was like a damn bank robbery. Get in and get out. As much people money. So it never was a sustainable business model. I talked about this on Monday live stream I did. It never was a sustainable business model. You know, it never was a sustainable business model. It was just really, in my opinion, allegedly, it was a bank robbery. Now think about it. Had he played it the right way, he would have left boxing in a better place. Had he played it the right way, he would have got that $7.7 million deal. And I know a lot of people think is wrong, it's crime or nothing, or doing the right thing doesn't pay off. It does pay off. It just takes patience. It just takes patience. Doing the right thing, you just don't say one day I'm gonna stop doing bad and just do right and it's gonna instantly happen. No. You still must pay for the sins that, you know, you did when you did wrong. Everybody think it's like, you know, it's like comparing doing good or doing it. Really, it's morally who you is. You don't do it for a reward. You do it because that's what you want to do. That's why when people ask me for money, you know, here, take it. I ain't really gonna. I don't want to. If you give it back, you give it back. If you don't, I just do it because I want to help you out. You know, it ain't that big. We ain't gonna fall out over it. You know, I ain't worried about it. It is what it is. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I need a favor from you eventually. It'd be nice if you would reciprocate it or you offer something, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I want to do it. You know, and when you figure that out, you know, it's like when you hit a lick, you do wrong. It's instant gratification of I hit a lick for 100,000, I hit a lick for 20,000, I hit a lick for whatever. But you got to pay for that. And doing the right thing is just building, 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 and it's sustainable success at the end of the day. So Al Heyman missed a big opportunity, and also he really left a void in the sport of boxing, which, you know, Turkey Al-Sheikh came and said today. So the boxing guys must be like, okay. So basically, Zuffa Boxing is pretty much managing the Saudi, one of the Saudis' promotional money with Turkey Al-Sheikh. So does that mean that you're going to stop seeing shows on the zone? And they're going to go to Paramount? Is they exclusively going to be there? Or they use another Saudi company to also do shows on the zone, because Turkey does own a piece of the zone, and TKO Boxing is just going to be one of the platforms that they have for their fighters. Catch what I said? So, you know, they might say, okay, what is the other one? Salah Promotions? They might say, okay, Salah Promotions, we're going to do our thing over here with the zone. You know, TKO, we're going to do a thing over there with Paramount according to market. Then you ask yourself if the other company, another Saudi company, Salah, whatever it is, or another one, they do think great big things on the zone. Where do Top Rank fit in at? Also, they got the relationship with Netflix. So when they do big fights, Netflix might come in and say, we want that big fight. So you ask yourself if Turkey is allegedly cornered the market with Paramount. He cornered the market, owns some percentage of the zone. Also, probably still going to put fights on the zone. Where does ESPN go? They say they got two platforms. One regular TV, terrestrial TV, I think that's what they call it. And they got one that's going to be on the streaming app. So, and there's a bunch of streaming apps. It could be HBO Max again. You know, I doubt if they, you know, maybe they're going to end up on a new ESPN app. I doubt it. So it could be an app I'm not thinking of. I doubt, you know, Netflix already said we don't really want to be a long-term partner in the sport of boxing. We just want to dibble and dabble in big fights. You know, Tubi already do some things in boxing a little bit, which is not a big streaming platform. I'm trying to think about the other platforms. I mean, obviously, maybe they might take over PBC on Amazon Prime. I doubt it. But also Amazon Prime took a hit when the NFL sold NFL Network and Red Zone for equity in Walt Disney. That means that Monday Night Football is pretty much going to stay on ESPN. So that's a blow to Jeff Bezos and them too. So maybe there might be something with Top Rank. Oh my God. Damn, bro, you just threw all that water in my face. He didn't mean it though. So it's crazy. I mean, I was driving through Ohio one time and I was in a rental car and it just started pouring raining. It started like it rained as hard as I ever, and I know in Florida it rained like that, but it rained as hard as I couldn't see shit. I don't know how I stopped. I made it. I couldn't see the next person light. It was kind of like that gloomy, dark, still light shit. And I'm like, somehow we made it to the gas station. The gas station went out of power or whatever. I was close to date. Dog, I don't, man. But after that, that was it. That was the toughest. That's the toughest part. That's one thing about when I tell another time. I was driving from I think that particular time, I think I was going to Georgia. I was going to Columbus. I think I was coming from Columbus for sure this time. And we driving through Tennessee. I think we driving through Tennessee. It's somewhere in there. Yeah, we in Tennessee. You like close to, I forget where we was close to. Maybe Chattanooga. We just passed through Chattanooga or something. And it started to be a snowstorm. So I had a Grand Cherokee. I didn't even know how to turn the lights on it. And I finally figured out how to turn the lights on. And bruh, it was a snowstorm. So I had to drive through a snowstorm because I was going to a funeral. I had to maneuver through a snowstorm. You know, through the Rocky Mountains and all that shit. But once I got the lights on, it was good. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, some people would have got anxiety, like, oh, pull over. I'm like, nah, we can, you know, I'll just take my time. And that's why you drive. When you traveling overseas, when you traveling across the country, you always leave at late night. You always leave late night because it's not that much traffic, and you don't want to run into morning traffic and none of that. So when I'm traveling, I'm driving, and I like to drive. I mean, I don't find it abysmal or nothing like that because it's cool. I like it. I like the sightsee. I like the challenge. I be chilling with the music on. I'm usually the one that do all the driving. But that's all I had to say, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch. Join the Patreon. Appreciate the love and support. Other than that, join the Free Game 89 channel, Motor City Sports Talk. Peace.